Comfort kills growth, my friends. And you have to be continuously moving and evolving and changing with the world of marketing. You have to keep up with it. You've got to continue to try and reach more people. If you stop striving to reach more people, your business will stall. Welcome to the Action Taker podcast. Hi, I'm Lauren Cosgrave, and I'm a business coach. In this podcast, you'll find an action-packed look at the strategies, tactics, and mindset that lead to successful online coaching, consulting, and service businesses, even if you're a mighty team of one. Hello, Action Takers. It's Lauren, and welcome to another episode of the Action Taker podcast. I am getting really excited. Next Monday, we are kicking off the watch party for the Action Taker Business Challenge. And I want you to join us. I want you to be a part of this. So head over to laurencosgrave.com/challenge. Join us. It's a totally free 5-day business challenge where we work on building out the foundations for your business. And today on this episode of the podcast, I want to break down the 4 pillars of the Action Taker systems and why they're different, why they're unique, and how the challenge fits into that, okay? So the 4 pillars of the Action Taker system are building out your base camp operations. You've probably heard me talk about this. This is your sales calls, your operations of serving your clients, having a solid CRM and solid sales process. The second pillar is your acclimatization climbs. This is all things marketing and building yourself out as a thought leader, podcasting, social media, writing a book. The third pillar is the foundations. What lies underneath all of that is your mission statement, your niche, your price point, your sales scripts. What are those things that sustain the business for the long term that you're going to keep coming back to as you grow and evolve over time? And the fourth and final pillar that I think is so often forgot out there in the marketplace is your tools and how to use them. I never want you to be stuck because tools are holding you back, because you're afraid to invest in that new technology of Kajabi or get into podcasting because you don't know how to edit audio. They're easy, they're skills, you just got to commit some time to mastering them. So let's think about these 4 pillars. I meet so many entrepreneurs that have what the acclimatization climb part down, but they don't have the other parts of the pillar. So maybe you're that coach or that consultant that is really great on Instagram. You've got that dialed in. You love talking with people and sharing content out in the world, and you've got killer quote cards and videos that you're sharing, and your followers have been growing, but you just haven't been able to get them to convert over into clients. And if you're really good on social media, you're probably pretty tech savvy and you've got the tools and you've got things in place. But what's missing for you is maybe you're missing that foundation. Maybe you're missing the why behind what you do or what your mission statement is, so it can become that North Star guiding element. Or maybe you don't have a solid sales script. But you also probably don't have a good base camp of operations. You're spending so much time in social media that you're not able to serve your clients, that you're not able to stay on top of it and you're feeling burnout and overwhelmed. Some people fall into the camp of being really tech savvy, being really clear on who they are. They've got the tools, they've got the foundations, they have a mission statement, but they haven't built out a base camp yet. They really have struggled with sales. They haven't mastered it yet. And the acclimatization climbs of getting out there and doing online marketing, that may terrify them. They haven't even dabbled in social media yet. They've only got this dream on their heart and they know how to do a couple of things, but they're lacking the ability to bring it together in a system of here's my base camp of operations that is minimum, that must always be sustained. And here's where I'm building out skills and expanding my reach out into the online marketing space. Or you may be one of those people that you've got solid foundations and you've got your base camp, but you are pounding the pavement. Everything you're doing is 100% organic. You've got clarity. You know who you serve. You know what your niche is, and you're really darn good at sales, but you are plateauing because it's all based off of you networking. It's all based off of you getting out there and talking to people, and you can only do so much in the hours that we each have every week. You can't create more time. Time becomes your limit. And so I really want to reinforce here that having all four of these pillars is what gives you that action taker status, is what gives you that momentum to finally break out into the realm of where you're serving many. You're not just doing one-to-one anymore, you're serving one-to-many, and your abundance, your wealth, your revenue starts to grow with that. When you have the solid foundations, you're going back and revisiting your niche and your mission statement, and you know exactly who you serve. When you have that base camp and you know that like nothing touches this, this is how I serve my clients. And if I'm going to turn anything off, it's going to be everything but that. My base camp will stay in place. It's where I can retreat to when I need to take a break and a respite. I need to have tools. I need to have the tools to maintain that and build in some automation into my systems, because I can only do so much as a solo entrepreneur or a mighty team of one. And then I've got to be building my marketing skills. Comfort kills growth, my friends. And you have to be continuously moving and evolving and changing with the world of marketing. You have to keep up with it. You've got to continue to try and reach more people. If you stop striving to reach more people, your business will stall. You'll stagnate. You'll plateau. But when you have all four of these in synergy, when you have all four of these pillars in place and you have systems to support them so that you continue the growth of your business, it's when things start to change. It's when you make that pivot into that entrepreneur that has momentum. It's when you start becoming that entrepreneur that people start asking you, how are you doing this? It's when you're more than just what looks good on Instagram, but you actually have proof in your revenue and in your bookkeeping to say like, no, my business is actually going up and to the right, rather than just feeling that it's going there. And if you look at the numbers, it's not really adding up. So what makes the Action Taker systems unique, and what I'm so passionate about, is the background that I have in tech. I see so many options out there and resources for entrepreneurs that are super micro niched, that are only in the pillar of acclimatization climbs. And so many entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants fail to bring this all together and see it in a holistic approach. They may be really good at building out an online course, but the second that you ask them to upload that to a platform like Kajabi or Teachable, they freeze. They can build a phenomenal course. They have this amazing curriculum and worksheets, but they don't know how to upload it. Or maybe they've built out a curriculum, but it's kind of a spaghetti approach and it's all over the place. And so I've worked for 6 years in technology. I've worked at Facebook, I worked at Dropbox, I work at Google. And tech is something that I never want to stop you from staying in action so that you can focus on serving others. And so the Action Taker systems are all about like asking those stupid questions, about saying like, hey, I don't know how to do this. Like, this is a great idea. I've got all of the foundations. I've got all of the ideas. I've got everything built out. But I've spent the past 3 hours trying to figure out how to upload a video to a landing page. It shouldn't be that way. It doesn't have to be that hard. And the Action Taker programs can be your resource, can be your lifeline for those situations. I also spent 11 years working on state-of-the-art warships. I served in the Navy for 11 years. And it really was so much of the Navy that taught me about these four pillars. It taught me about what are those bare minimum operations. Because we were not in wartime mode all the time. We had to train for it. We had to go through the evolutions of practicing it, but it's unsustainable to keep that high level all the time. So we had to know what was our base camp that we could retreat back to. What was the bare minimum that we were going to sustain when we're crossing the oceans, getting ready to maybe go into a high security situation. And what were our tools? We had to have world-class tools and we had to know how to maintain them. Because when you're on a tin can in the middle of the ocean, you can't call a tech to come out and fix it. You got to fix it yourself. You got to know all of your systems so that you can fix it yourself. And you entrepreneur, I don't want you to be stuck out in the ocean without a tech to call. Now, luckily, we're not in a warship. This is a metaphorical ocean that we're talking about here. But these are what make the Action Taker systems different and bring them into a lens of building out your solo practice so that it is sustainable, so that it's something that becomes your career. Because you know what, Action Takers? Coaches and consultants, you guys are changing the world. You are the ones that are out there saying, I stand for something and that I want to enable transformation. I don't want to stand on the sidelines and watch people suffer anymore. So my challenge and question to you is, do you have those foundations and those tools? If you're in that camp where you're not incredibly clear on what your niche is, on what your mission statement is, what are the tools that you have in your pack when you're getting ready to climb the mountain of entrepreneurship, then the Action Taker Business Challenge is for you. Take a chance. Just come take a look. It's free. You have nothing to lose. Next week during the watch party, I'm going to be sharing my additional tips and strategies for each of the days with the Action Taker Challenge. So go join us. You've got to do two things. One, you got to join the challenge. Go to laurencosgrave.com/challenge, and you got to join the Facebook group, which is the Action Taker Community. If you search for it on Facebook, and if you sign up for the challenge, there's going to be links there to join the group as well. So Action Taker, I can't wait to see you in the challenge next week. We kick it all off on Monday, March 15th. Can't wait to see you there. And remember, until then, that normal is boring, success is inevitable, and action taking is replacing the grind.